All right. Good afternoon, traders. Happy Wednesday. I hope everybody enjoyed their 4th of July long weekend, shot some fireworks, ate some barbecue, maybe drank some beers or something along those lines. Welcome to the TradeSpoon live trading room, stocks and options. My name is Scott. I'm the head trading coach here at TradeSpoon. And of course, I am also your friend. Very good friend. Good afternoon, John. Good to see you. Hola, Ricardo. What's up, Chris? Long time no see, my friend. Good afternoon to you, Phil. Glad you had a good one. Nice to hear. Everybody else, it's good to see you on our afternoon. We get one afternoon and one morning right now, and I'm going to make the most of it, by goodness. This is me, for anyone who doesn't know me. Trading for a while, teaching for a while. These are the disclosures. Be careful out there, still risky. Thank you, John. I appreciate the love. And this is what we know. Fed says more restrictive rates possible. I believe that came from the minutes. If inflation persists, stocks rise after FOMC minutes release. Oil, we believe this move was overshot, Goldman says. Okay, so now we're starting to see how inflation's going to come down, right? As we see the price of commodities drop significantly, sometimes sometimes the prognosis becomes a self-fulfilled prophecy where they're like, recession. Everyone's like, what, recession? Well, I better stop spending then. And then all of a sudden, bing, recession. So that's the big news, where any recession could be less shallow. Early earnings estimates still barely budging. So the question is, this is good to start with. Let me bring up a chart. This chart is, I'm going to go Bank of America, BAC. It's on our list. Not because I like the stock. You can see the stock is actually still kind of in a poor spot, but because earnings window opens in not very long, 2 weeks from Monday. 2 weeks from Monday, we're going to have earnings season open up, and we're going to see, right? What are we used to? We're used to seeing a certain percentage of companies exceeding expectations by a certain percent amount. And those numbers have been good for quite some time. But now we're starting to wonder, are we going to get worse guidance? What's going to happen, et cetera, et cetera. So there you go. All right. Earnings coming up. Any other news? Bill Gates continues to buy land, farmland. You can't make more land. I get it. My daughter's graduating high school. My thought is I want a couple hundred, maybe a few hundred acres in Colorado where I can grow if I want, but up in the mountain areas, yes, that sounds delightful. But put me on a river where I can do a little fishing. Yes, that's what retirement looks like. Okay. All right, I think we have a good sense of what's going on. Let's look at the calendar. Independence Day holiday, nothing scheduled. Yesterday, factory orders came back strong. That's good news. To come in at 1.6 when they're expecting 0.6. Orders are good. Make moonshine for sure, right? I'm talking maybe I'll have a little vineyard for some wine, and definitely a distillery, maybe a micro brewery of some kind. That's all part of it for sure. Oh, yes, sir. What do we know? The FOMC minutes came out hawkish, but the market rallied. So Tomorrow, jobless claims, 230,000, still well within the range of a very strong jobs market, right? Job openings dropped a little from previous, but up from expectations. Quits came in about the same, and we have jobless claims, and we have non-farm payrolls. They are expected to drop, but still in a healthy range. That's still adding to the situation, right? That's still net positive. So as far as that goes, what's going to help make it a more shallow recession if employment stays strong? That's the bottom line as far as that goes. Let's go look at how the model sees it. Here is the SPY. Pretty neutral. So we had some bullishness, but we'll see. If it can start to climb, maybe, but right now, very, very neutral. It's a lot of indecision, a lot of uncertainty, and yeah, that makes sense. I didn't get a full posture. I got a Friday afternoon posture estimate with the holiday weekend. I kind of slacked off. I figured we could go in together and talk about sector rotation and see what we think. Is the money moving yet? It doesn't seem like it, right? Let me know if you disagree. If you think we're going to find money flow somewhere, let me know. But I think a lot of indecision, a lot of sidelined institutions still. So here's SPY. Let's go look at the QQQ. Way too many Qs. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. So QQQ saying that after a small consolidation, we might get a bullish kick. So that's interesting. John says money into healthcare, maybe tech. Healthcare, I agree. BMY was probably one of the best looking things I've seen for a while. We'll pull it out. It's not on the watch list, but it was something that I was like, ooh, that's interesting. So pharmaceuticals leading the way. QQQ looks okay. Here is the IWM. IWM is looking somewhat bullish. Not a huge move, but then maybe a small pullback. And let's finish with the Dow. Dow oftentimes tracks well with the S&P, and more of that, right? Slightly bullish, more neutral. Not bad. Not a bad read overall, I would say. Love it. Good afternoon activity, John, always. Okay. Correlation, still terrible, but getting better, minus 28%. Oftentimes we do see a little bit of a bump here into the beginning of July. Maybe we're seeing that, followed by a sideways market during the processing of the Fed and the recession. And then who knows, maybe the end of the year. By October, right? We're in a bear market that started back in December. So we're 7 months in. By this point, you're at 9 to 10 months, which is the average length of a bear market. So if this thing pops a little, then kind of grinds sideways to really flush out the rest of the sellers, and then we see a Santa rally October, November, December, absolutely, that's not just feasible, but I'd say a probability there. I mean, not necessarily a likelihood, but I think that has very good likelihood. Santa was asleep. Actually, we did rally, if you remember. It was really like late December. We had an okay November and December, right? And then it just sort of like fell off. Let me see if I can find that. So you can see here, you can see October, we kind of bottomed out and we had this, and then it pulled back a little bit, and then we rallied one more time up until, so not bad. That was probably the last best market we had. And then we've just been grinding down. So the bear market really started January 4th. is the high we are in a bear market of. So if we see this thing pop and then grind it out sideways for a little bit and then move into the last quarter of the year, I don't see why that's not feasible at all. A lot of doom and gloom in the market around recession talk, but nah, I think it's gonna all be just fine. Today's map, you can see energy continuing to get beat up. We've been kind of staying away from that. Same with materials. Cyclical, I would have thought were a little better, but it's auto's not doing well, travel's not doing well, lodging, right? All of this. The rest, yeah, really retail's not doing great at all, and defensive is, so that's concerning. Tech is doing well, but financials is not. Financials is struggling. Healthcare is doing well. Communication services, okay. So really a mixed bag here. But John, I would agree, at least today, semiconductors, Apple, Microsoft, so technology good, healthcare good, defensive, utilities. I mean, we don't want to see utilities this strong. So we have a bit of a mixed bag, if you will. Let me, I'm going to go to XLU. I don't love that V right there, right? It looked like money was coming out of utilities, which would be more growth, and then all of a sudden smashed back up. And it's like, wait a second, what's going on with this V reversal? And XLP staples wasn't far behind, right? Do we see some prospects maybe developing here out of technology? Yeah, but it's early, man. It's early. We definitely need more confirmation than just this, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. What do we need? We need a quiz. And then we'll get Stella's answer, and then we'll look at the VIX, and then we'll look at the watch list, and we'll see where that puts us and what we think. Any trades with Vlad? So what we said was we were looking to see this is the bullish area. Right? Friday, Monday, these are our bullish times. Now we're saying, okay, let's see how far it can go. The buyers absolutely have taken control of the cycle. You can see it here. We're going to see, do they get past this level? If they only get to this level, sideways for sure seems appropriate. If we can get past this 390 level here, maybe 415 becomes in the realm of possibilities. So we're really, as the buyers do come in, our objective here is to let's assess what we see out of them, right? So you can see the Fed, the minutes got released, popped up. So let's base it off of the consolidation range. We're gonna go here and here. A, I'll give you the numbers here in a second. B, C. 384.70, we'll call it. 383.70. So we'll go 383.70 by 384.70. Okay, if it's above 384.70, you think the buyers are going to finish this thing out, you're an A. If it's going to give it back, but not too much, you're a B. If you think it's going to fall back into before the post-Fed rally, you're a C. Ricardo is an A. Osama is a C. Fred is a B. Ku is an A. Chris is a B. Phil is an A. Bill is a C. Jacques is an A. Hello, LK. Good to see you. John's a C minus. Okay. LK is an A. I think we're going to rally a little, but then we're going to fall back into this little range. We really haven't gotten above this high right here. Back into this range, I'm going to go B. Okay, everybody's in that wants to be in. Let me see what Stella thinks about it. Let's get a prediction. Any trades with Vlad today? Trading still down with him, waiting for better signs. What does that look like? Give me an idea. Ooh, I don't know. The model looks like it's going to be an A. SPY next hour at 2 o'clock, 385.95. 385.95. So 385.95. Ooh, it's just right up here in the A range. A for the model. Okay, we've got a pretty good distribution today. Osama says, only news I could see, Federal Reserve officials at their June meeting said another interest rate increase of 50 or 75 likely going to be needed. See, there was a few people speculating about a full 100 basis points, right? A full 1%. I thought, no, that's overcorrecting. I still think even 0.75. I think if you see oil and commodity prices continuing to retrace, that's enough organic impact on inflation that the Fed's probably going to be like, okay, let's do a half a point still. I mean, but gosh, before they were like, oh, a half a point's so big, and now we're like half a point. Whoa, that would be a relief. So Fred says that Vlad is looking at out the money options as the best strategy right now. That's selling out of the money options. Yeah, well, the volatility is still high. That's a great segue. Everybody's in that wants to be in. Someone will remember the numbers. If not, I'll try to cheat. Let's go look at the VIX. Let's look at the VIX. If I can get my mouse to move. Short-term Vlad is bullish on QQQ. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's see. The VIX, and you can see this is where we got that lower high was back here on Friday. Then yesterday it paused, today it's coming down again. That was the mark. Right? That we were looking for. Let's take a look. I lost my drawing tool here. There. That's the lower high. So as of right now, do I think there's a good chance we continue to see this? Hello, Bob. As usual, better late than never. Maybe we come down here and then we see it come back up and then we decide something along those lines. Fred said looking to take profits on Chewy. That's right. Let's take a look. And then we'll dive into the watch list. There you go. You got a little bit of a pop there, right? And now it's kind of bumping its head. I think that's a great spot to take half the profits. I would still definitely want to see if there's a little bit more in the tank, but a great place to get a start on it. Okay, let's see. Let's get to the watch list. No, that's not what I want. I still want. Okay. Oh, where is my perfect? So I've left Alcoa up just to give me some context, right? Just to give me some context around basic materials. I don't love it at all. I think basic materials absolutely looks well overblown, and we could continue to see this dropping. Right? There's just not much in it as of right now, and so yeah, let's keep watching. But this to me is a big part of inflation coming down. We're well off of this here. We're going to see that have an impact. Here's Apple. Apple did make a higher low here on Friday. I don't know if anybody took that trade. That's one that I was looking at. I did pull the trigger. That's one that I liked. I think very bullish to see Apple moving higher. Ooh, no, that's a great idea. I did mention, let's do a little sector rotation because that'll help us to kind of look at what we're seeing in here. No reason to wait. No reason to wait. Let's do it now. Okay. So on the 200-day, yeah, we see that energy is still up way above everybody else, but that's a hell of a retracement, and it continues to come down. So as we zoom in, we're going to definitely see we get more and more money coming out. Starbucks. Oh, sorry, someone else had mentioned that too. Have I stopped out of Starbucks? No. Starbucks is another one where you can see we got our signal through here, and it's moved, hitting some resistance. Sell half. 78.38 was a stop. Was there a hard stop or not a hard stop? I don't remember 78.38. I don't know if it's in this or not. No. No, I don't see anything that would have triggered this based on what we see going on here. Oh, was it a Heiken Ashi? I don't think it was it? No, it wasn't that old. I still think that one looks actually quite good. Apple, strong. Did anybody trade Apple? Is anybody in some technology stocks to the upside? Because that is, I think, one place where we'll see it. So let me go back and finish this sector rotation. Okay. You can still see utilities, staples, healthcare. So as of right now, everything else is still in the tanks. But what we're looking for is as we move in, do we see a change? Still coming down, still these three underneath it. Starting to see a little upswing, but tech, communication services, discretionary, all still well below, well down. Even on the 66. Now on the 66, all of a sudden, Microsoft and Amazon, love it, Fred. Those are our two other ones that we talked about. Staples, still leading. Well, actually took a leadership role because energy is now fallen so hard from this level. But it's still the defensives. Even on the 66 day, it's still the defensives. Is there maybe a little bit of sign of hope? I mean, we're not seeing much, to be perfectly honest. There is not a lot. If we're going to see it, it's going to be on the 22-day perspective. And on the 22-day perspective, you can see finally we have materials and energy into a lagging position. Still defensive with healthcare and staples, but at least we see a little bit of a surge coming from technology and discretionary. Okay, it is just these little glimmers of hope, but there's really not much as of now. So, okay, right? There is not much that we can do with that just yet. Okay. Let's go through the list. ADI, it's a nice turn, but we're coming off of lows. So there's the chips have work to do, without a doubt. Apple and Microsoft look good as leaders, and they should be. They are leaders, but the chips definitely have work to do. ADM, and this is an interesting one right here. Sprouting seeds. There you go. Sprouting seeds. Good. It's springtime. This is interesting because ADM's a pretty big leader in the space of consumer defensive, and whereas the rest of the sector had a bit of a V recovery, this one is kind of testing the low. So I don't know about that. AMD chip stock coming off the lows, not much. Amazon, beautiful, higher low. We had this hold this triple bottom, higher low, boom. That's the signal. Getting close to where you might say take half off. See if the rest of it can get up here. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Absolutely. Exactly what we talked about possibly developing into Friday. AXP financials, no good. No good at all. Still down at these lows. Bank of America, no good. Still down at the lows. Dutch Brothers gave the same signal as Starbucks. Not as good of options though, by a far cry. Caterpillar, new lows. Nothing there for us. COP, new lows. Nothing there for us. Costco. Costco gave a nice little signal, if anyone was looking at that as a leader, kind of a little bit of momentum. BMY, we forgot. Oh, BMY, healthcare still looking pretty strong, new higher high, nice easy consolidation. Looks like it's trying to turn, plenty of time before earnings. We'll take a look at it at BMY, I think, here before the end of the hour. DBC, oh, getting battered, right? Just getting battered. John Deere, down, new lows, nothing there. Diamonds, trying to turn around, higher low, something there. FCX, new lows, not loving it. I don't love materials, right? Anything materials, energy, materials, fertilizer, chemicals, plastics, whatever, man. Commodities of any kind. Gold, same thing, right? Look at that. That is not defensive at all, right? So if the market's like, oh, we're recessionary, what are we going to do? Maybe we should buy some gold. You're not seeing that happen right now. IWM, higher low. Jets, maybe a higher low. Same with silver, I would imagine so. Meta, the artist formerly known as Facebook, not bad. Trying to find a bottom, maybe if it can break through this. I didn't see this as a, I mean, maybe it was a higher low. It just wasn't as strong as Apple or Microsoft or Amazon, right? But it's a big component. It would certainly be nice to see that do well. Marvell, I mean, people are like, is that a trade? Well, no, because it's coming off a new low. It's got work to do still. It's not convincing enough. This is still the this is still the consolidation, right? It's got to bust it, hold it, higher low. Now it's like, okay, but can they do it now that, is that an easier path now that Apple has done it and Microsoft has done it? Yes, they blazed the trail. That's why we watch them the way that we do. Fred said that Vlad took a trade on Delta prior to earnings. Well, those earnings are quite a ways away. I mean, it's definitely a higher low. I like that. Up, down, hold, turn, love it. Absolutely. NEO looks like it could be getting close. Almost a little bit of a false signal. Didn't quite overcome the previous candle. Waiting for this. I actually think that if it comes down here to 19, I would really like it down there. Absolutely. NVIDIA just looks like the rest of them, right? It looks like the rest of them. So there you go. QQQ looks good. High or low, trying to turn. Absolutely, I like that. This is short term, looking like there's at least the buyers are going to make a run. Am I calling out that this thing's done and we're done with the bear market? Of course not. Why would I do that? I'm saying there's enough here that if you put on some short term trades for the upside momentum and it happens to catch some fire like it is, great, you got some things in place. So Starbucks looks still pretty good. Silver, there's just zero interest, right? There is just absolutely zero interest in this as a defensive component. Nobody's buying gold or silver. They're getting rid of it. It's dropping with the commodities. Can you take a look at MU? I can, but I have a good idea. It's going to be bouncing off of new lows, just like its compadres, right? Got earnings here, gap down. Now it's bouncing off, but it's bouncing off of new lows. Now, could you make an argument that this is the consolidation line? Well, you can make any argument you want. So you might think, now maybe it gets up to here, pulls back a little bit, higher low. Okay. Was this a trade today? Nah, this is weakness. The fact that it's at a new low, my rule says very clearly, I don't buy weakness, just like I won't sell strength. Will you get into VGT for tech or IVW for SPY on growth? My pleasure, Fred, of course. Yeah, if you have anything, we'll have a little time probably. VGT for tech. I like, honestly, for tech, I like, oh, no. I won't do Van. I mean, for tech, I like Apple. I like Microsoft. I like QQQ. I like chips if they start moving because they can move. Not saying this is bad, but if you look at this right here, they have options, but this is a stock that trades on average 700,000 shares. If you look at XLK, that trades on a same exact stock, right? Look, that chart, exactly the same. But this one trades 9 million shares, which means they're obviously going to have better options. And if I put QQQ, same chart, right? Those three all looked exactly the same. But what do I have here? 70 million shares. So the Qs is obviously going to have the best liquidity, best options, etc. IVW for growth. Now growth, maybe. I don't watch a lot of like growth oriented things as far as that goes. But that looks really very similar to the SPY, quite honestly. I don't see much difference between SPY growth or SPY value or SPY. So hopefully that helps. Okay, Marvell coming off of lows like the rest of the chips. Microsoft bouncing off a higher low, just like Apple. You could have gone either way. They look very similar, Apple and Microsoft. Hard to distinguish. If you look, here is Apple. Then I go here to Microsoft. Very similar. I went with Apple. Some people went with Microsoft. Some people maybe did both. Neo, we said was close. Where am I? I got lost. Sorry, that's my bad. NVIDIA coming off the lows. QQQ, higher low, more bullish. More bullish on on the Qs than I am on the semiconductors. I would like to see them. I think we need them for the rally to sustain. So maybe with Apple and Microsoft leading the way, the chips can show better recovery, and then the Nasdaq can help to sustain the rally with some breadth. Silver, no good. Semiconductors off the lows. SPY looks good, trying to bounce. Oh, I said it's going to rally and fall back down. 384.70 was where it needs to fall back down to. I think that looks okay. I think August is enough time for BMY. I don't know that we would need to go out to September. Still gives us about 6 weeks. Plenty of time. Oh yeah, it's coming. Bees. Where you at, Beast? It's coming to us. Come on. Come on down. Tesla. Let's get out of this chart. Back to the previous chart. Honestly, I think I like NEO better, but that's not bad. I mean, it is a higher low. It is trying to turn. We do have a cross. Do you have time before earnings? If you were bullish on Tesla, I would not argue with you. UNG. New lows, no interest. UNH. Maybe, but I like BMY better. Visa, I have not liked. Ooh, I don't know. It's trying. It's trying, maybe. The VIX. Definitely still at new lows. XLP, we talked about all this already a little bit. It's kind of weird that the defensiveness is not in materials, but it is into XLP and XLU. And then here is XOM, new lows. We're not really that interested. Bob said, what about home builders? XHB. What about home builders? Yeah, I would say that's a higher. I'd say that's valid. That definitely was a higher low. I think that's I mean, I wouldn't be looking at it now since it's already turned and seems to be stalling. But maybe it gets to 60, pulls back to 55, gives you another bite at it. I would say that one qualifies as being, in our realm of possibilities. Okay, BMY. Let's go talk about it. Anything I missed? Let me know if there's anything that I missed. Otherwise, I'm going into BMY. So it's given back a lot, but it's still holding a valid signal, I would say here. Now, I normally don't like to go below these shadows, but in this case, I think I'd be okay with that, right? 76.50 entry, 74.25. That's like 0.5% below the low. Stop down there, 74.25. Maybe even 74.250. The last move we got, without even including this shadow, but from here, 72.5 to 80.5, that's 8 points. So if we're doing 8 points from the lows, not necessarily the shadows, but the lows, 76, that would put our target at 84. 84 gives us 7.5 points. So could I risk 2.5 to make 7.5? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You want to know what's wrong with that ratio? Absolutely nothing. What stock is this? This is BMY. I haven't looked at this in a while. I would assume the options should be okay. Anyone traded this lately? If I go out to August, oh yeah, plenty of open interest, plenty of volume, tight spreads. What more could we want? I can't remember the other home builder. Anyone remember the other home builder? I don't remember it either. Implied volatility is still somewhat elevated. I mean, it's not huge, but it's up there a little bit. So maybe we look at a spread in August. Maybe we try to go a little bit aggressive though, like 75 by 80. Lily is stronger, Bob says. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at Lily. Eli Lilly. Lily liver. Yeah, I mean, it's very similar. It's definitely didn't have as much of a consolidation, but I kind of like a nice consolidation. Swing for the buying an option. We'll look at that too. We'll look at that too. Let me raise this up a little bit. Yeah, I mean, Lilly's not bad for sure. Pfizer, I would imagine, looks very similar, right? For sure. 84 is definitely the upside. 74 is the downside. 73.99 because I'm superstitious on stops. Today is the 6th. You can see we're actually only getting a 2-to-1 here because we would need more time to pass. Yeah, you know what? Oh no, that's not quite right. Let me get to 80. Even still, I kind of think you might be right. Maybe buying the out of the money option. It's in the 20s, so it's not like it's terribly expensive. If I go with something like the 80 strike price, I need to build some time into this now. So let's give it a full week. And then let's dial it back to what, 3 contracts? 200 to make 1100. It's a great ratio. I could maybe even just go with 2. I'd still have a couple hundred. Well, I think 3 actually makes sense here. Let me see. Where is this at as we speak? Trade the Lily. Single August 1. That's Lily. I meant Bristol Myers. And I am showing a mid of BMY. What am I missing here? Okay, there we go. 106. Oh yeah. I'm in. Okay. If you're doing it and you're buying it, let me know what you filled at. I got a 106 fill live, but I haven't got it a fill here yet. Let's go 108. I'm not going to let pennies. 107. Where we are. Okay. Oh, Bacabe. Yeah, I like that. You know, it pulled back from the highs, but still maintained a valid signal. You know, so, kind of like this one did back here, and then you got a nice little pop. So clearly that's what we're hoping for here. Yeah, this looks good. This looks good. Absolutely. All right. Did I miss anything? We may end early here today. Let's go look at how things are closing. If I missed a stock, right? We know that healthcare has shown some strength. We found a good leading stock in healthcare at support, good reward to risk ratio. It's the best we can do in this market, right? Is to do that over and over and over again. VIX is holding down near the low. We haven't broken this level yet. If we break this level, I think the VIX will definitely drop down here to 23 and 24, 23 and a half. Give us a little bit more of a bump, and then we'll see what comes after that. There's small signs of hope. Yeah, I mean we're still in this recessionary-ish environment. Raymond said he got 105. Nice. We still have a hawkish Fed, but we're 7 months into the bear. 6 months. 6 months into the bear. Average is 9. Are we going to see some? If an average is 9, that means for every 1 year bear, there's a 6 month bear. Okay. Selling off. All right, let's go look at it. So the VIX, yeah, you can see it's moved up a little bit. Let's see if that puts it into, I'm gonna, oh gosh, that sold off quite a bit. Ooh, C's. 384.70, right? I believe is where it needs to get back to. No, 383.70. Was it 384 or 383? 384.70 by 383.70. Yeah, the sellers are definitely coming in to close this thing down. I'm going to give it to 155 on the dot. That's about 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay, won't matter. What was it that I did on BMY? I did I can't remember. 3 contracts of the August 19 $80 call, slightly out of the money, very controlled. This thing could fall apart and it can't lose more than $300 or so. We think we can keep our risk at or below 200. We think we have a gain potential of 800 to 1,000. Very nice reward to risk ratio. There it is, right? That's what I'm looking for out of that. So I'll leave that there for just a second. Let me know your thoughts. Yeah, it's just, we're oh yeah, it's gotten nasty. Who are my C's? John, of course, is a C. He loves being a C. Osama is a C. Bill is a C. John is a C. Okay, three winners splitting the glory today. We've got about 1 minute left. It would need to move $1 to the upside. I've seen it happen. I bet actually if I just yammered on for 5 minutes, it could very easily get back into the range. But I said I'm going to call it at 155. I'm a man of my word. So I'll be back on Friday morning. I hope you guys will join me on Friday morning to hang out, drink some coffee, and we'll look at adjustments possibly on our trade. We'll look for new trades. We'll keep discussing economic conditions and market forces. We'll look at trends and support and resistance, supply and demand, and we'll make sure everything is good. What would be the target and stop? I had a target of all right, I'm going to give it to the C's. You got it, C's, you smarts. I would say my target is 84 to the upside and 74 to the downside. That's what I was looking at, was a higher high going up into this area. Basically this same kind of a move over here. See if we can't catch one up here to 84. And if we break below this low, I'm wrong. Down here it's 74. That's my levels. Those are my levels. So, okay. It's good to see everybody. I think you guys are awesome. I enjoy hanging out with you, spending time, looking for trades, analyzing the market, etc., etc. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. See you Friday morning. And as always, happy trading.